So we now have various Hollywood stars coming to the realization that their silence about all of this politically driven narrative garbage is actually destroying them. And all they really had to do was go around and look at all the normal people that were around them that have been saying this for years. But let's face it, it takes a little time in your day to become informed about what any activist is actually pushing out there, despite the fact that that would be time well spent. The biggest problem, or the problem fundamentally, is that most of Hollywood is just trying to survive until their next job, which I'm sure you've heard before. They're willing to glom on to anything that might get them to their next meeting or their productive, career advancement cycle, which, again, is some new project, some new play, some new, not plays you don't make any money, but, some new film project or television series or a streaming service product, right? Well, here's the thing. The results of that are now being felt, and thank goodness that somebody like an old school star, like Rita Moreno, has actually noticed. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, hiss and foes, welcome to the Culture Casino!
The video interview of Rita Moreno is telling. She is taken aback by the negative response and attack that has been happening to Lin-Manuel Miranda and his casting choices for his latest film. Of course, when an activist cause like The Root, which I will refuse to call anything but an activist cause, is involved, pretty much all you're going to get is that kind of talk, so you should be expecting it. But Rita and so many others are actually paying attention now. Well, not so many others, but many others are paying attention now, and there's nothing that's being left alone anymore. The joyless that have led us down this cancellation path that we've been on for a while now is essentially wanting everyone and everything to be destroyed. Hey, something to pay attention to. When Rita actually states, "I'm simply saying, can't you just wait a while and leave it alone?" She's actually echoing the sentiments of you and I and pretty much the overwhelming majority of the entire world. And that is something that we need to keep touting far and wide. It's one of the things that may actually end up saving us. Now, of course, her interview was with Stephen Colbert, who always tries to lead people to the farthest left safe space to protect them from whatever it is that is going against the approved narrative. In fact, he was seen doing this recently in a Jon Stewart interview that I'm pretty sure all of you saw, who was actually casting the whole virus narrative thing into question. But of course, that's an absolutely entirely different story that we're not going to cover here. I just thought that was worth mentioning, that that's where this interview was taking place. Now, the problem is Lin-Manuel Miranda and others continue to apologize to this very tiny fraction of a tiny fraction that are represented by nothing more than activists and activist voices that are set up to profit and, of course, run after they profit. In fact, we've seen many examples of that, Patrice Cullors, maybe? Anyway, in the interest of full disclosure, though, and again, I always like to be intellectually honest, this was not going to be a film that I was interested in. Now, while I like musicals, this one just didn't spark my curiosity, or not. It wasn't very intriguing for no other reason than it just wasn't. And I actually have a growing list of issues with Lin-Manuel Miranda, yet at the same time, I'm going to come to his defense because I think the criticism here of him is completely unfounded, and anybody with a few working brain cells would probably come to that conclusion too. Now, the best thing that I've seen from Lin-Manuel's response is his actual refusal to use the ridiculous Latinx garbage that's out there in the world, which again is trying to take a very, diverse language and turn it into a monoculture language, which you can't do. It is it's gendered form of speech. In fact, a lot of foreign languages are. And this is the very same pushback you're seeing the French do. Believe it or not, the French are actually pushing back against something. I know that's hard to believe, but this film was never going to be box office gold, and based on the Samba numbers that were featured here in this article that I'm showing you, even the free availability of it on HBO Max showed that it was quite soft. In fact, Warner Brothers, a president for Warner Brothers named Jeff Goldstein, says that a film's box office performance is actually, or often, in parallel with its performance on a streaming service. No kidding. And I mean, I'm sorry, but basically he's saying that low box office equals low streaming interest. I wonder who's been saying that for quite some time. Me and a few others you might know. Anyway, I also found it telling that they, of course, they put a ton of money, just a wad of money in P&A budget for this film, promotions and advertisement. In fact, they set that at $50 million. Now, it also had a huge number of screens. Again, remember, we're pretty much open in most of the country right now. It had 3,456 theater openings domestically here in the United States. Actually, North America's Canada too. If I don't know, are you guys going to films up there? I have no idea. But essentially pulling in 11.5 million domestically in the box office is not quite what they were hoping for. They were hoping for Crazy Rich Asians, which was actually a pretty decent film, but that's not what this is, and it never was going to be. Of course, this film was budgeted at $55 million. So $55 million budget, $50 million promotional push. You know, you're expecting some decent returns. They're just not going to get them. Look, I just hope that these comments that were made by Rita Moreno and a few other people out there start to rattle some more brains in Hollywood and to show them that they're creating their own demise. They're sipping their own poison on purpose. It's very strange. Anyway, that's pretty much it. This was an incredibly short video, just me calling out the fact that Rita Moreno's the voice of reason in something like this. Like, leave this crap alone. Get this junk out of here. This film is, you know, a pretty decent representation of a community and a musical that we wanted to tell. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for checking out this short video. Be sure to support other independent creators out there on the platform because they're just not getting the support that they need. And one of the things that I like to do on my channel is to promote those folks. In fact, that's why the Sunday Culture Review features guests all of the time. Maybe people you haven't run into yet on YouTube because the algorithm favors the larger channels and, of course, the linear networks that already currently exist. Which seems odd because that's not a YouTube thing. That's a commercial tube thing. Anyway, as I always say, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, wash your hands, of course, because it's good hygiene. It is. And until next time, bye. Hey there, one last quick note before I let you go, and before we make it to the end of this video. I, Culture Casino, have a brand new Teespring store. That's right, you can now go to Teespring, look up Culture Casino, or use the link in the video below, and pick out some handsome and beautiful Culture Casino merchandise with many different designs and styles and colors, many different items. I was actually surprised at all of the things that you could create, and I have some more designs and items on the way here shortly. But, you know, if you want to support the channel in that way, there is some merch. Otherwise, here comes the ending. Thanks for visiting today. Be sure you're subscribed and hit that for alerts.
Yay!
Of course, like and share all of the videos that you can as it helps with the algorithm. Have a great day.